Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are back once again with Mr. Mitchell's Summer Fun Stream. Hope you guys are all doing well. Glad to see you back. Let's adjust my camera just a bit. So hope everyone's doing well. Apparently, I have died. So we're getting started. Back here again. Let me just bring my volume down to here. All right. So, another day on the ARK. I was getting some screenshots and stayed out too long and died of thirst. So let me go head back and grab Agnes, our RG, the Argentavis that we caught yesterday. Hope you guys are all doing well. Enjoying another day of summer. We got the 4th of July coming up soon, and the summer bash has begun in ARK. So we'll look a little bit at that today. We're in search of an Ankylosaurus. That's what we want to hunt today. We need Ankies because their special ability is they can harvest huge amounts of metal from stone, as well as flint and crystal and the other specialty ores you get out of rocks when you harvest them. Much like a pick gets more metal than stone, where an axe gets more stone than metal out of a rock, an Anky serves as the pick. And in order for us to move forward today in our technological levels here on the ARK, we're going to need the help of a good Ankylosaurus. So we're going to be in search of a decent level one to help us get started. Later on, we can look for max level 300s, and when we come across those, we can definitely capture them and use them to breed up. Now, hopefully I'm not putting myself in peril here by not paying attention. Just taking a little breath so Terry can get her stamina up. I've been flying the RG so much in the last day, and I've gotten so used to its stamina that I'm not used to Terry's low stamina here. Bring my HUD up, and I'm going to move myself to the other side of the screen for you guys so you can see the stats and stuff going on the screen. So it is day 22 here on the ARK. It is 8 a.m. in the morning, and we are currently in the Grand Hills, just at the foot of the volcano. And we're flying over to the RG trap because that's where I was sitting looking for Ankies when I started getting the stream set up, and I forgot all about it, and I probably starved to death or went thirsty, died from thirst. So the RG should be sitting on top of the trap. And my body should be down in it. So as you can see, there's a red and blue Diplodocus. I'm going to take a little break right here. There's a Carno there. I just got to keep an eye on it. Get some altitude so we can find where we put the cage again. This is such a large map, it's so easy to lose stuff. It's going to be over here. Pretty sure it was over here. I'm starting to lose my mind. Get up a little altitude so we can see where everything is. Alright, so we should be over here. Right over here is where it's at. Foothill. And the green beam shows where I died, of course. So we'll just fly in here and pick up my belongings before they disappear on us. And apparently I took a header right into the spikes. That's not a pretty picture, is it? Alright, so let's collect this up. We don't need this. Okay. Oh, I need my armor. That would be helpful. And let's put that on. There we go. And we'll just collect that, get it out of the way. Alright. So let's take Agnes and head home. Once we get back, we'll leave Terry at the base, and we'll bring Agnes back out here to help us hunt for our Enky. So, early this morning I got on to take care of the animals, and I was flying by the redwoods, which are directly behind me. I'm just waiting for Agnes to catch up to us. So the redwoods straight ahead there is a great place to find one of the strongest animals, one of the most resilient in the game, known as the Thylacoleo, which is a marsupial lion from ancient Australia. And the Thylacoleo I kind of refer to as the bear cat. And in this game, it's kind of like a T-Rex killer. It is a very strong animal, especially when they're bred up for a melee. You can get very powerful Thylas. And one of their special abilities is that they can climb, and they can climb vertical surfaces. For example, they can climb those giant trees over there, and then they perch up in the lower branches and wait for something to pass under them, and they leap down upon their prey. Much in the way that saber-tooths used to do. And as I was flying by one of those large trees over there this morning, coming over here to get some pictures of an Ankylosaurus, I saw a Thyla sitting in a tree. And it was a level 160. And I'm sorry, but I just couldn't pass it up. So we will go out and hunt thylas in order to show you guys how to capture them. But I went ahead and caught myself one so that I could utilize it when we go into caves and stuff later on. They are very strong animals. They're very fast, and as a matter of fact, they can get you across this map as fast as any ARG can. Even though they're a land animal and they can't fly a straight line over all the rough terrain, they can get over all that rough terrain very easily, which allows them to travel very quickly over a map. So if you're on a map where flyers aren't allowed, for example, aberration, but you are allowed to bring other animals to the map, a thyla would be a great choice. Down in caves is another place. On official servers, you cannot bring flying animals into caves. My friends and I always bring a thyla into the caves because they're very capable of handling most of the bad things down in there. There are two types of caves. There are larger empty caves, typically on some maps made for base building. You'll know them when you see them. And then there are smaller, tighter, deeper caves filled with all sorts of bad things, which are typically artifact caves and treasure caves. So those are usually a little tighter to get into and a little more difficult to traverse. So it's always good to go in those things well equipped. Some of them even have poison gas and lava in them, so you have to be well prepared. And we are eventually going to go into some of the caves, hopefully by the end of the summer here. Okay, I'm going to have to land because I'm getting really low on stamina, so I'm going to head straight down here into the woods. Just take a look around before I actually land. Find a rock to set down on. Agnes will just hover. She's not actually using any real stamina right now because we're not riding on her. Alright, we're up and ready to go. So, I hope you guys have been enjoying the streams. I've been working little by little on improving the presentation, as you might have seen in the opening credits there. And we'll get better, slowly but surely. Trying to improve everything from lighting to quality. We should be streaming at 1080p now, so you guys can increase that on your streaming bandwidth if you so choose to get a little bit better quality on the screen. And we're back at the base here, even though it's very difficult to see because, you know, if it's not night on the ARK, it's a rainstorm. And if it's not a rainstorm, then it's night and a rainstorm. And it just makes things difficult to see. Okay. Basically, enable, disable, so Agnes stops following Terry. And this is our Thylacoleo. So, I haven't named her yet. I believe it's a her. Yes. And the way you can tell if it's a male or female, besides the gender there where it literally says female, just looking at the name of the creature, if it's pink, it's a female. If it's blue, it's a male. Okay. So, let me just get rid of this real quick. So this is a Thylacoleo. They've got very interesting teeth, and the game designers actually modeled the teeth after what the actual Thylacoleo skull looks like and the teeth on it. So these are marsupial mammals. and I refer to them as the bear cat. They're kind of their own thing. It was known as Australia's lion, prehistoric lion. So I've already made the saddle for it. I believe you can make the saddle at level 61. And basically the way to catch this is I'll take you over. We'll just go ahead and ride her down to the cage we caught her in. I just made a slight modification to the Triceratops cage that we used to originally tame our Triceratops. So these things can leap. They got great leaping ability. And the modification I made to the cage is the bottom layer of walls I changed from double door frames to single door frames. That's the only change. So fairly inexpensive. It only needs to be 2 walls high for these. Even though Thylacoleos can jump and climb, when you're taming them, they won't do that. They're just going to run around inside of the cage and try and bite at you. Okay. So, and the way I got it from the redwoods over here to the peninsula is I used the RG to pick it up. So I saw it clinging into the tree. I flew by with my RG, right-clicked when you're on PC, and the RG picks it up, and then I carried it back here. Occasionally, it would bite at my RG and cause it injury. When that's the case, you can kind of move your mouse around, change direction on your RG, and the Thylacoleo will stop biting at you. And if it starts again, you can just wiggle your mouse again to kind of change alignment. A better way to do it is drop the Thylacoleo and pick it up again with its, basically pick it up so that you're picking it up head first, so the head's facing away from you and not forwards. So another ability of the Thylacoleo, and this is what makes them so strong, they have so many great abilities, is that if, for example, when I attack this Moschops, you're going to see blood going everywhere. So the Thylacoleo causes a bleed effect, which is damage over time. So they do additional damage using their bleed effect. And that carries over to tames as well. And then the final ability that I mentioned earlier is their ability to climb vertical surfaces. So I'll give you an example of that over here at the base. We'll just park on the roof. And I'll go up the high part of the wall here. So as you can see, it's kind of a short wall. But you can see I can climb directly up that. If I go to a taller wall like this cliff over here, you'll be able to see it better in action. So these are great animals, as you can see. And the great thing about this animal is when it levels up, you can actually increase its movement speed, and it will actually run very fast. And I've got some of these Thylacoleos up to 160, 170% movement speed, and I can fly across the maps, figuratively speaking. I've already increased its health some. It's up to nearly 20,000 hit points. Its stamina is 1,600, so it can run for very long distances. I have not increased its weight yet, but I'm going to work on that so it can carry me and my equipment. But what I'm really pumping right now is its melee damage. So it's going to become a more fearsome opponent. And I've already taken down a T-Rex with this cat just to test it out. So we'll just go over to this cliff and I'll show you how it can climb. And that was more of a run, wasn't it? That wasn't really a vertical cliff. We need something vertical. Excuse me, pardon me. Out of the way. There we go. So we should be able to climb this. There. Now we're climbing. So the way to do that is you hold down on the space bar. Well, there's a pretty pteranodon with some of the holiday colors, the bright red. So the summer bash, dinosaurs will start spawning with red, white, and blue, and neon colors like lemon lime, neon orange, and lots of really cool colors on them. There's a top of hair over there that's bright blue. Look at that. So that top of hair is level 60, which is not a real high level one, but boy, it's pretty. So the summer bash has begun. One of my favorite times of the year for ARK, because you get some really cool dinos, and when you breed the dinos with these special colors, the great thing is they carry over to their young. You'll get some of the colors that carry over. Some come from the father, some come from the mother. It just depends. I'm just going to run down to the end here. The peninsula comes a little closer to the land over here, and I can get across on the Bearcat, on the Phyla. Much easier without a long swim. These are actually very good swimmers, but these waters contain megalodons, prehistoric great whites that are like 3 or 4 times the size of great whites today. So I really don't want to get eaten by a megalodon. So I just come over here where the two parts of land are pretty close together, and a couple leaps, and we're back over. And Luke has parked his boat over there. Looks like his 2 Dilophosaurs are still doing okay. I was worried they're going to start running out of food, but I can't feed them because he's not in my tribe. And he doesn't have a trough over there, so his dinos wouldn't eat out of my trough, for example. We'll see if there's anything decent in this drop up here. Usually it's just cloth armor and thatch, so it's probably not going to be anything useful, but we'll pull it out just to get rid of it. That was the wrong button. Well, we got water skin, some spark powder, some meat, berries, and campfire. Okay, well, I'll give you the meat. And right there is a megalodon trying to attack the Nidaria, and there's another megalodon. And if I go in the water, you'll be able to see them close up if I can do it without dying. There we go. So they're attacking that turtle there. And eventually we're going to catch a couple of those. At least one. I don't particularly care for megalodons as a ride I would use all the time in the ocean, but they're kind of like the pteranodon. They help us get the ride that you really want, which for me is the Bassie, which is an ancient version of a killer whale. The Bassie is actually a passive tame. You just have to feed them fish meat until they become your friend. But the downside is they're typically surrounded by manta rays, which are aggressive. So we use the megalodon to basically pull away the manta rays and kill them. And then once we've cleared all the manta rays away from the Bassie, we can just simply take some of that fish meat that we got from the manta rays and feed the Bassie, and we tame it up. And then the Bassie is what we typically take around, because the Bassie's special ability is it's immune to the poison effects of the Nidaria, the jellyfish, and to the electric eels. The electrical pulses of the electric eels. So those are 2 of the most dangerous things out in the ocean you really got to kind of look out for. I'm just going to put this campfire over here for now. And that'll just let us cook more meat at once until we get our grill going. I've already cooked some meat this morning. Grab that. And I've worked on the back patio here. So we've got ourselves a little patio out here, a little deck. We can have our summer 4th of July parties. And I plan on probably putting the greenhouse right here. And then this will be a little pier that will go out into the water where we can park our rafts, and even have an area where we can bring the bassies and megalodons, anything we tame in the water, to bring them up and have a safe place to keep them, so other sharks and things don't attack them when we're not online. So we're going to get put some of this stuff away, and we're going to get suited up here for preparing to get an Anky. So we're going to bring the Anky back here actually, and drop it in the Triceratops trap. It's a little bit of a flight, but it'll do. It's the advantage of building one of those cages. If you can kind of build it in an area nearby where you do most of your work and your hunting, then you can use them over and over. So always keep that in mind when you invest in all the stone and wood to build one of those. You may think this is taking a lot just to catch one animal, but it's really not to catch one animal. You're going to catch multiple animals with that trap. Now, I was a little bit lazy in just putting it down the island from where I was to catch that first Triceratops. I could pull everything up and move it to a more central location near the volcano, where everything that I hunt I can kind of bring back to the middle of the map. But I'm not too worried about that. It's not that far to the center of the map from where we're at, and that's where a lot of the things are that I'm going to hunt. So it's not that far away. Eventually we'll hunt bigger animals, Triceratops, Carnos, the Uranus, which is kind of like a big giant feathered T-Rex. It's a very powerful dino that we need for the end game too, because it has an ability that encourages the other animals to fight harder. It has a roar. So we will eventually catch a Uranus and maybe even some woolly mammoths. So all of those animals are typically kept up in the snowy region north of the volcano. Another animal that we'll want is the Daeodon, which is an ancient version of a wild boar. And their special ability is they can heal. They eat huge amounts of food, and then they can heal themselves and your other animals. So they're really helpful during a boss battle to kind of run around and keep all of your dinos charged up on health. Uranus is running around charging everybody's melee abilities up with its roar, and then you bring in some T-Rexes along with that, or some RGs, and you can really do some damage to the bosses. We've cleared bosses in as little as 2 minutes on this map, because we've spent time raising up very powerful animals, capturing all these things and bringing them up. Our typical time on a map to do that is typically 2 to 3 months of daily play, weekly play. So that just kind of gives you an idea. We are playing on the most difficult setting, which makes it harder at the beginning of the game, but it can even things out and make them a little easier at endgame, because your dinosaurs are so high powered they can take the bosses out quicker. So there's kind of a trade-off on that. And these are all settings that you can make in the advanced settings when you're playing single player, or on your server if you're running your own server. If you play on the official servers, you got to play by their rules, and those are typically published on ARK's Wikipedia and stuff. Alright, so I've got my crossbow. I've got 87 arrows, and basically I want to check to see what I'm going to need for a high-level Ankylosaurus. We probably won't find a level 300 today, but if I plan for a 300, anything else we're going to be able to handle. So a level 300 Anky is going to require 80 Mayho berries. It's going to take an hour to tame. We will not need narcotics because it has a very slow torpor, and it's going to take 45 crossbow bolts, which we have plenty of here. I've got extra narcotic and extra arrows if I need to make them. We've got our crossbows here. I'm going to use this crossbow. We've got a ramshackle crossbow. I really don't want to use that for taming because if you look, it does 50%, 56% more damage than the regular crossbow. And I really don't want to do more damage to the animal. I just want to do more torpor to it, more knockout ability. And the damage doesn't affect that. All this is going to do is make it more likely to kill the animal. It won't affect how much torpor these arrows create. So I try and use lower quality weapons when I'm taming something so I don't do as much damage. Alright, but we have backup crossbows if we need them. We've got a couple bolas. We won't need that for an Anky, but I keep them on my bird anyway in case I see something smaller I want to tame. Alright. So we're going to head over towards the volcano near where our RG trap is. There were some Ankys over there on the slopes of the volcano earlier. We're going to find one that we like and bring it back. After we got Agnes tamed up yesterday, I did go around and get a couple of explorer notes and took her out hunting to get her leveled up. So as you can see, she's now level 389. She took down an alpha raptor and an alpha carnotaur, which are extremely strong variants of the same type of animal you would normally see. You can definitely tell an alpha when you see it because it's got like this red mist around it. And if we see another one, we'll see what we can do to hunt it down. Always check its level first. There's another Tapahera. Tapaheras are really cool animals to tame. They're a little more difficult because they're so flighty. And typically they're such low level. But you can't even get close to them. It's very difficult. They fly away very quickly. If you can tame them, the great thing about them is the way they fly, they can actually glide left and right, forward and back, up and down while they're flying. So they can slew while they're in the air. Here's another Tapahera. That's a level 140. That's a little bit better. I may eventually show you how to tame one of those. There is a trick to them, to attracting them to you. You really don't need a cage. You just need a good long rifle with the tranquilizer darts to be able to take them down quickly. Wow, there's a really cool Bronto, green and red, sporting some of the holiday colors. So on Agnes, I have boosted her melee, her health, and her weight. Those are three important things I want on my RGs. The bird that I ride most of the time, I will increase its melee and health because I use RGs not only to haul things around, but to for combat and fighting. Okay, so here we have two alpha raptors. As you can see, they have the red smoke. You really don't want to take two at a time, but I take this one first. As you can see, the green numbers are the damage that I'm doing, and the yellow numbers are the damage that the raptor is doing to Agnes. Okay, so we killed the first one. Now I want to show you something here. I'll just pull away. Now, a special ability of the Argentavis is after they make a kill and they eat the body, they actually heal themselves, as you can see from those green plus signs around it. So it's actually healing up right now from any damage it would have taken. So if we look, her hit points are actually going up. And she's got a timer up in the top right corner. It shows how long that will happen. She's leveled up, so I'm going to go ahead and increase her stamina again so she can fly a little further. That's just fewer times we'll have to stop. But another cool thing is, look at all this prime meat I just got off of Agnes. Off of that raptor that Agnes collected. Hundreds of prime meat. So what that's going to allow us to do is tame up another RG, which will, using prime meat instead of regular meat, will give it huge amounts of levels compared to regular raw meat. And it's going to tame much faster, in about a third of the time typically. We don't need that for the Anky. Ankies are herbivores, so we're going to need berries for that, or crops. We haven't grown any crops yet. But I will be starting on that probably next episode, starting on our greenhouse and garden. We need the Anky, though, to help us harvest crystal and metal, and we need that. We need crystal and metal for actually creating the greenhouse walls and ceilings. So we're moving right along. And then once we have crops from the greenhouse, we can tame the herbivores even faster, and that will allow us, once we start that and egg collecting, we can start making kibble to tame up dinosaurs much, much faster. Alright, I'm going to rest Agnes up here because her stamina's getting a little low. We're going to take a look around. There's a couple saber-tooths right there. Don't want to stop next to them. There's an Anky right there. Let's stop on this rock. Come on the rock. Let's just take a look at this Anky and see what level it is. It's a level 20. It's way too low. And it's a level 20 saber-tooth. I'm just going to take both of these out. One, so the saber-tooth doesn't attack me. And two, the Anky's only level 20, so by getting rid of it, it'll respawn at a higher level. So when people see me killing them, they go, oh, you killed the poor kitty or the poor Anky. Well, I just think of respawning it at a higher level. Because just like when my character dies and respawns, the ARK respawns you. And it respawns the animals too. So they don't really die. Who's that up there? Oh, that's a metal node right there. That'll get us a lot of metal once we have an Anky to harvest it. So we're just going to fly around this eastern part of the slopes. There's typically some Ankys hanging out here that we can grab. When we see one we like, we're just going to pick it up and carry it home. We won't stay in this dangerous area and try and tame it here. That's just crazy. It's crazy talk. There's some aloes. We cannot pick them up. They're way too big to be picked up. But eventually we'll tame some of those. Alright, let's go back down and around this way. We're kind of just working ourselves back and forth down this slope. Now deep in the woods, there's not going to be many Ankys in there. They're usually up in the more open areas. Let's just see, park right here. Always a good place to park right on top of the cage if your RG's willing to do it. There we go. And we'll just take a look around, see if there's any Ankies up the way. There's another metal node, and this is how you can tell metal. It looks like a rock, but it's got those gold streaks in it that you can see there. So that's got higher content. That's a rich metal, is what that is there. And again, you can see some of those gold streaked rocks right there. Those are all richer metal nodes right there. See if there's any new RGs out today. Looks like all the Ankies have been eaten. Well, there's a few. See what level these two are. 170 and 70. 170 is not bad. And that is a T-Rex. Big giant robotic T-Rex. The tech variants can actually get higher level than 300. So they get a few more levels than the normal animals, but that's what a T-Rex looks like. You can actually breed those with other T-Rexes, but not with the regular Rex. There's a doughy. We kind of need a doughy too. It's only a level 10 though. There's a T-Rex, level 90. There's an Anky that T-Rex is on. Oh, that's a Ankylosaurus. It looks kind of like a Stego, but don't treat them the same. Stegos are passive. They will not attack you like the Triceratops unless you become aggressive against them. But a Ankylosaurus are aggressive. If you get too close, they'll charge after you, and they'll do a lot of damage with those spikes they have on them. So don't treat the Ankylosaurus like you would a Stegosaurus. Stegosaurus, you could walk right up to it and it won't hurt you. A Ankylosaurus will attack. We might go a little higher up on the volcano. There is a trail that goes all the way up the volcano, so if you're not on a bird, you can literally walk your animal all the way to the top using a trail that goes up and around the mountain. So we'll come across it up here. Kind of follow it up, because a lot of times there will be Ankies up and down that trail. What we got up there? A couple raptors. Okay, there's two Ankies. Are those the same ones? That's a 20 and a 270. That's the one we want right there, 270. It's actually two there. Which one is which? That's the 270 walking away, and the 150 on the right. So we want this one here. So we pick it up and take it home. Now, we may not have the stamina to get all the way home. That's okay. You can always set the Anky down somewhere, land just a short distance from it, rest up your bird, take off again, pick the Anky back up, and head on home. It's always best to try and drop your Anky in an area where it's not going to get attacked. The Ankies won't get aggressive on us while we carry it. They'll kind of just stay just like that, nice and calm. So we're going to fly this home. I might drop it like right here, not next to that Carnotaur. That would not be good. Start looking for a place down in the crevice of this rock maybe, so it'll kind of get stuck there. Won't be able to run very far. Just kind of look around, make sure there's no carnivores in the immediate area. There's a Troodon or something there. I just saw its tail. There it is. Those are small dinos, but they're dangerous. I'm going to drop Yankee here. Go kill that. Where's he at? There he is. Okay. Cleared it out. Let's land. Let's rest up. There's another one. That's why I don't like landing on the ground. I want to try and get up on a rock where you've got a good view of everything. These rocks are just being difficult with me today. And with Agnes. So force feed Agnes a little bit. That'll pump up her stamina really fast. And we're off and away again. Don't forget today, guys, when you watch this stream, don't forget to hit that bell icon. I'll be back on Monday streaming again, and by clicking that bell icon, as you guys probably know, it will send out a reminder to you guys when I begin my Monday stream, so that you don't forget to watch it, whether you watch it live or play it back at your convenience at a later time. It's a good reminder to have. Feel free to click the thumbs up, thumbs down, just so I know that you're there and watching when you get a chance. And if you like what you see, hit subscribe. The more subscribers I have, obviously, the more content I'm going to create. And we are going to look into playing some more survival games in the next week or two. Besides ARK, there's a lot of other ones out there that are really good, and a lot of them have had recent updates and things that I haven't even tried out yet. So if that's something you're interested in and you want to see me play a particular type of survival game as we survive the summer together, just let me know. Adjust this camera just a touch. And we're just going to fly down to the trap down here and drop our Anky in. And then we're going to use that Anky to harvest up all this stone and get a lot more metal out of it than we would with a pick. And we may even take it back over by the volcano to harvest up some of those rich metal nodes. And we'll have loads of metal to bring back. Alright, so we've dropped it in the cage. Just going to get our crossbow out here. Make sure I've got my shrink arrows loaded on all of them. Okay, I found a couple of extra crossbows. I did not make those, by the way. I think I got them in a drop off of one of the alpha animals, actually. And look, I got a better hides shirt. I'm going to put that on. Because the one I have right now has 20 armor, and this one has 38, so that's even better. So, looking good. Alright. Oh, look at you. Level 30. Was that... There we go. There's our first real hit. The second one kind of went through the wall, and I don't think it counted as a hit. Or the first one. The second one actually hit. Okay, so this is a 270, so I'm going to make adjustments here from my original calculation. And we are going to need 73 Mayho berries. And it's going to take an hour to tame. It's going to take 40 crossbow shots. And there will be no need for feeding it narcotics. That was a miss. So 40 arrows, and we're at 20 right now. $35, $36. Should be about 40. About. The tranquilizer darts, after you shoot it, the torpor continues to go up, so I'm just giving a little time for those last few shots to kind of build up the torpor on it for the tranquilizer to take effect, and then I'll shoot it some more. That way I'll use fewer arrows and cause less damage to it. So at first I just shoot as fast as I can, but once I get about halfway up, I'll start to slow down some. And you can especially tell when it starts trying to run away from you. Okay, my first crossbow broke, so I'm bringing my next one down. And this is why we carry multiple crossbows. There we go. And she's down. Jeez, that took quite a few. That's more like 50. Alright, so I'm just checking its food level here to see how long it's going to actually take. I've got a little calculator. There's an app and a website called Dododex. You can go to Dododex, DODODEX.com. And there's others out there, but I like Dododex. It's free to use. The app does have ads in it, but you can buy the pro version for a few bucks. And it does without the ads. Start. Okay. So we have an hour and 5 minutes. We need to get the food level down to 11,900. and it's currently at 14,071. So we got a little ways to go. It's going to take about an hour, so we're going to go do some other things. So it'll be fine here. That's why I like having the cage here, because I don't have to worry about raptors and carnosaurs and T-Rexes and other things running up here and attacking what we're trying to tame. I got pretty good confidence that, you know, it's going to be a very low chance of that happening. Because none of the other animals on this peninsula are that aggressive. The occasional Dilo or Compy, but they don't do huge amounts of damage, and while I'm out of render range up here at the base, nothing's going to happen down there. A Dilo or a Compy would only start attacking when I got back in render range, and I would see that damage starting to happen. I'd be able to take care of it before the Anky was too far injured. This is also why I starve tame. Any damage the Anky takes right now, between now and when I feed it its first piece of food, doesn't account against the levels it's going to get when it tames up. After you feed it its first piece of food, if it takes damage after that, then it's going to start losing those levels off of what its maximum would be after it's tamed. Every dino you tame gets a certain number of bonus levels, and you can get maximum bonus levels by making sure that it doesn't take injury and you feed it the best food you can. Okay, so that's why I starve tame, because any hits that happen don't count against that effectiveness as long as I haven't fed it a piece of food yet. Actually, I'm going to grab some of all that prime meat off Agnes. And I'm going to put that down in one of our preserving boxes. And this is why, between having an RG and a Thyla, we're going to start getting so much meat now. The prime meat, we want to either cook some of it or leave it raw, because we use that for taming our carnivores. The raw meat, I'll pull a lot of that out and put it in the troughs for the animals. If it spoils, that's fine. We use the spoiled meat for making our narcotics. And I'm going to need another preserving box here. Or better yet, what I really need are refrigerators. But to get those going and running, I'm going to need electricity, a generator. You need to start making gasoline. Gasoline's going to be the easy part, because there's actually oil right off the coast here in the ocean. And I literally swam out the other day just to test it, and there's oil coming up from right near the beach that we can easily harvest. Take this stuff out, a couple stacks of raw meat, prime in there. Go ahead and get that cooking, get some wood for the other ones. Actually, let me just split some of this wood to get it cooking. There we go. And ugh, I'm so loaded down. You know what? I'm just going to let Darla hold all this meat for me for right now. By the way, if you didn't know, having an animal hold meat, if you notice, this prime meat's going to go bad in 1 minute and 40 seconds for me. But when I put it on Darla, it's going to go bad in 7 minutes. So they actually keep food from spoiling as fast by putting it on an animal. So have an animal hold your meat for you when you're just running around doing things until you get a chance to preserve it or whatever. What I want to start working on right now is a fabricator. So if we take a look here, this is for a mid-level game. This is what we're going to need. It's kind of the updated smithy. And it looks like a big metal lathe, like what I have in my workshop in my classroom. So we're going to need cementing paste, crystal, metal ingot, oil, and spark powder. I've got all of that except the cementing paste. So I'm going to show you where to get cementing paste today. The crystal, I went to the volcano and harvested a little bit, so we've got a little bit of that. First thing I'm going to do is learn this Ingram. And I believe we make this here in the smithy. And it's right there. So I've already got 33 oil and 63 crystal. I need 4 metal ingots. Let's see what I got here. I got some metal to cook up, so let's put some wood in there. Do you have any wood on you? Nope. Let me just go grab some wood. Just cut a tree. One tree is going to give us like a whole stack of wood. Nearly a whole stack. There we go. So much wood I can't move. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. And I'll just put that, toss that wood for now. I can come back and get more wood. The charcoal I've been working on creating because we're going to, once we have the fabricator, we're going to use that charcoal combined with spark powder. We're doing those in the mortar pestles right now. And using that to make gunpowder. Then we'll put the gunpowder in the fabricator with some metal, with some simple bullets. That's going to make our rifle ammo. Then we mix our narcotics with the rifle ammo, and that makes tranquilizer darts. So there's a whole process that you have to kind of go through. I'm going to throw all this wood in here and start cooking this metal. Put this broken crossbow here. Put the spoiled meat over here. Charcoal in there. I'm going to run out and get the rest of that wood I just left sitting there on the ground because it'll stay there for a couple minutes. So if you work fast, you can come back and pick everything up. You don't lose anything. A little more efficient. Take that extra wood and put in these 2 fires so they continue to cook. Put half in here. Take that spoiled meat out. Take the cooked meat, charcoal. Take the cooked meat, spoiled meat. Put more wood in. Charcoal. Cooked meat, charcoal, spoiled meat. Alright. So I'm going to put the cooked meat in here. I've got 54 right now. And by the way, that's really good for taming thylacoleos. Thylacoleos prefer cooked meat over raw meat, and will actually use the same amount just about, but they tame up much faster with cooked meat. So little pro tip for taming thylacoleos, they prefer cooked meat. You'll save yourself some time if you have some cooked and ready to go. Besides the fact that if you look at the cooked prime meat, it lasts, this piece right now is about halfway done on its green bar. It's still got 3 hours and 50 minutes of time. If I find a piece of raw meat down here that's about halfway down on its timer, none of these really are, but even this one here, it's more than halfway and it only has 30 minutes. So you're multiplying the amount of time it lasts by about 10 ish. So your meat will last longer if it's cooked. Some animals prefer raw, most prefer raw, some prefer cooked. So having cooked meat is much better. Once we get refrigerators, we're also going to convert these preserving bins, start putting oil in them, and the oil and the cooked meat, whether it's prime or regular cooked meat, will make jerky. And jerky gives you a little more health when you eat it, and it lasts much, much longer than even the cooked meat does. So it'll last you for days without spoiling. So that's what we will use. We won't get rid of these preserving bins when we start putting refrigerators in. We'll keep those 2 preserving bins so we can make jerky. And the summer bash right now, to get some of the special things like the cool Hawaiian shirts and stuff like that, you actually have to use cooked meat and jerky to get that stuff. So I'll probably show you some of that before we finish the stream up today. Alright, so we got that stuff cooking. I am going to need some Mayho berries. I have 250 on me, so I have enough to tame up our Anky when it's ready in an hour or less. Let me see what I have for building materials here. Okay, I've got 3 stone walls. I want to be able to make some stone walls. I'm going to need lots of wood. I don't want to harvest that right now. But for the fabricator, I need 50 spark powder. Let's just grab what we need for that. I think I've got some over here. So I'm just going to grab this spark powder, throw in my workbench. Okay, put that over there. Oh, you know what? I'm out of room, that's why. Let me take this wood stuff and put it in here with the other building materials. So it's all in one spot. Now I have room to put my spark powder in. And if we go ahead and look, you know what? Take some of this flint and a little bit of this stone. And not all of it. I can't even move now. Nope, still can't move. Nope, still can't move. There, we can move. Alright, I'm going to come over to one of these mortar pestles and make some more spark powder. We use that for the preserving bins, and we use it for making gunpowder. So you're going to need lots of spark powder. Feel free to make it when you can. That's really what one of the big uses of flint are. Okay, so if we go back and look at our fabricator, we still need 4 metal ingot. Did I put wood in that forge? I did. Should be 4 ingots. By the way, this is scrap metal that you get from killing and harvesting the bodies of the tech animals. You get a little bit of scrap metal from them, and then you can melt it down to ingots. And this can be used interchangeably with the regular metal ingot. You can use either one, doesn't matter. All the recipes will accept both. So if I put this in here and look at crafting, fabricator, I just need the cementing paste. So we have about an hour. So what I'm going to do is hop on Agnes, and we are going to go get ourselves some cementing paste. Now, just to show you, there is a recipe for cementing paste. We can make it. I'll go ahead and select that. We'll come to the mortar pestle here. And cementing paste, you need chitin and stone to make cementing paste. Well, let's see how much chitin we have. I've got 182. And how much do I need for the fabricator? I need 20. I could actually make that right now. I just don't like using all my chitin because I need a lot of chitin for making saddles and stuff. So I'm going to show you, and I've got 34 keratin. I'm going to show you an alternative way to get cementing paste if you don't have the chitin to make it. We're going to go find some that's naturally occurring. And having an RG or a Thylo to do this is helpful. We are going to travel to the opposite side of the redwoods. Down the river. It cuts through the center of the map there. You can see it's getting really hot. The temperature is now 107 degrees, as you can see in the top left corner of my screen, and I'm wearing leather armor. So imagine wearing like leather pants on a hot day. Not going to be good. So I'm starting to suffer from hyperthermia. And when you see that big red flame, that means not only am I losing water really fast, but I'm also losing health. You can see my health is now down to 274 in the bottom right corner of the screen out of 280. So something I can do is, for example, I can take off my shirt. That didn't help. Take off my gloves and shoes. And taking some of this off, or replacing it with like cloth armor, or even better, ghillie armor. Those two manage your temperature better. They will let you cool off a little bit. Now, as opposed to having to take my pants off, what I can also do is just come down here to relieve myself real quick. If I can land. I want to get a drink of water, and just getting in the water here will help cool me off. When you see a parasaur running like that, that means there's a predator in the area. So I'm just keeping an eye out, and I'm trying to cool down here at the same time. Trying to get submerged in the water. It's not working. We're just going to move further east. We can get up in the mountain there where it's a little cooler too. So we'll do that. We'll fly up towards the volcano and cool off that way. I did get some water, so that's going to let me go a little bit longer before I start losing hit points. More hit points. Having full water helps with that. And you notice it's flipping there on the hyperthermia, so I'm starting to get into an area that's a little cooler. We're going through actual heat wave right now, so it's 113 degrees Fahrenheit now right here. If I can get up there on the middle part of the volcano, it's much cooler up there, and that will help with matters until the heat wave subsides. There we go. And we've gotten out of the heat wave zone. So it's only 61 degrees now. So go ahead and put my armor back on. It's helpful to have that on, so if I fall off my ride or I get off to grab something and I don't remember at the time, I'll have my armor on and I'll be better protected. Occasionally I'll see certain animals that I'm interested in maybe getting, and then check their levels, see what level they are. If it's a really super high level, I might try and capture it and tame it. So you never know what we're going to get. Now there's a really cool looking RG. Blue and yellow. It's only level 40 though. But see, those are the kind of cool colors you get during the Summer Bash event. So that's why I look forward to these events in ARK. Occasionally you'll get these animals that spawn with really cool colors. If you can see that drop in front of me, way up the river, that little white beam, we're going up in that general direction. At that end of the river there are casseroids, which are prehistoric giant beavers. And you can find cementing paste in the beaver dams. It's what they kind of use to hold their dams together. Now with the hot symbol that you see at the bottom right of my screen, I'm not taking damage with that, but I am using water faster. So I'll have to keep an eye on my water meter. But notice my health is not going down when it just says hot. It's only when you see that dark red flame symbol that you've got an issue. So right around the corner there should be some beaver dams. I'm also checking these large trees out, just looking for thylacoleo hanging out in them. If I see a really good thylacoleo, we're going to catch it. I also don't want to fly next to one of those really big trees with a thylacoleo in it and not notice, and then end up getting pounced on. So I try and keep my distance from the really big trees if I haven't checked them all out. And I thought maybe that was a branch I saw. Yeah, it's just a branch. So while Agnes is getting her stamina up, I just kind of take a look through the woods, looking up the tree trunks towards the leaf line, and looking to see if I can see any thylacoleos clinging to the sides. Occasionally they'll be on the ground if they've already pounced on something, but a lot of times you can find them up in the trees. Alright, just down around the corner here to the right, there should be some beaver dams. If not, there's some up in the other way, I believe. Okay, there's one right there. So let's just take a little rest right here. Take a look at what we got going on. So there's one giant beaver right over there. Now these things are pretty tough. If they attack you, you're going to get hurt. And as soon as I touch the beaver dam here, as soon as I touch it and start to pull something out, all the beavers in the area are going to zone in on me and come to attack. So I've got to be fast. There's a lot of wood in the beaver dam. If you pick it all up, you won't be able to move. So you really don't want the wood. You just want the cementing paste out of there. Sometimes there's pearls. Sometimes there's rare flowers or mushrooms. We'll keep all of those. They don't weigh very much, and they have special uses. The wood I'm going to toss because it's just too heavy, and if I pick up all the wood, I might not be able to run away from the beavers if I can't get back on my bird. So you don't want to get yourself stuck. You do want to dump all the wood so the dam breaks, because when you dump everything out and the dam breaks, the dam will eventually respawn, and you'll have another dam faster that way. If you leave the wood in there, it's not going to respawn, and the stuff in it, like the cementing paste, won't respawn either. So now we got a Carnotaur on the beach. So I don't want to deal with him. I might clear him out first. But he's not super close now. You know, I say this now, but he's not super close to the beaver dam yet. So I could fly in there, grab everything, and fly off before he even got close. But he's coming to the dam, so I'm just going to clear him out. Okay. That was quick and easy. I'm going to go ahead and stop here. Now here's the thing. When I'm ready to get the stuff off this, I want to make sure that the beaver dam is on my right side. Because when I hop off my bird, I'm going to hop off on the right side. Okay? And I want to be right next to the dam so I can quickly open it, pull the stuff, look to the left, and get back on my bird. That way I'm down, I'm grabbing the stuff, and back on my bird before anything gets close to me. This is especially helpful when there's other things on the beach. There are probably beavers all out in that water we just cannot see right now, so we have to be quick about this. I'm taking the cementing paste, I'm dumping the wood, I'm hopping on my bird, and I'm taking off. And when I get up in the air, you're going to turn around and see beavers start running towards me. Boy, look at the size of that salmon. That is a huge fish. Maybe the beavers all got eaten. That was a level 10, and there was a Carnosaur there. Maybe it actually ate it. I don't see any beavers coming. That's, like, remarkable. So, if there's no beavers, like, directly in the area, I'm just going to look around and see if there's another beaver dam or two that we can raid. I could use some more of that, especially if there's no beavers in the area right now. There's usually 2 or 3 nests in the area. I mean, I could go further upriver there, but most of them are usually right around here. Okay, maybe that's one there on the hill. No, that's a bear. I just don't see any more. There's just the one there. There's sometimes over on that other beach there. Go down here and cut across. Oh my lord, look at that thing. That is a Megatherium. It's a giant sloth. And it's like super blue and red as the Summer Bash colors. That would be cool. It's only level 20 though, so that's gonna... It's just not going to be very useful, other than just looking cool. So that's the giant sloth. Those things were so tall that if it sat on its butt and reached up into a tree, it would be able to look in like a second-story building, no problem, into the windows of the second floor. That allowed them to get up into the tops of trees to get the most tender roots, or leaves, I'm sorry, not roots, leaves and shoots for them to eat. The things that were typically out of reach of the other animals. Alright, let's see how much we got here. I'm going to turn back around and head back towards the base. Just Let's map this out a little bit. Careful in the redwoods. Near the big trees. I don't want to get hit by a Thyla. Keeping an eye on Agnes' stamina. She's pretty good though. She has leveled up quite well. Those big trees, by the way, you cannot break them. If Agnes goes up to this small tree, she can attack it and literally break the tree to clear it out of the way. But the big trees, like this one right here in front of me, she cannot break that. As a matter of fact, you can use those big trees. There are tree platforms that you can use to build bases up in the trees, like a big giant tree house. Like a Swiss Family Robinson style. And if you've never heard of Swiss Family Robinson, look it up on the Disney Channel. It's an old movie from many years ago about a family that shipwrecked in the 1800s on a deserted island, and they build their house up in a giant tree that grows on the island. And there is a place in Disney World in Orlando. One of the things, you can walk up into the giant tree, the tree house. That's the Swiss Family Robinson's tree house. So there's some ancient knowledge for you. Let's see how. And we got 280 cementing paste. We got plenty for a fabricator now. So we're going to head back and make our fabricator. I think there's some beaver nests at the west end at about 65-25 in that little area of the river there. Maybe closer to 68-28 in that section. There's beaver dams there too, I believe. If memory serves me correctly. I'm just taking a look back at the big trees, looking for any thylacoleos. I got lucky and found that one thylacoleo early this morning, and it was a level 160, so it was, while it's not maximum level, that's pretty decent for this early on in the game. So I went ahead and snagged it. It'll become useful to us if we want to go down in a cave looking for artifacts or treasure. Okay, those are not beaver dams. Those are just like the broken off tree trunks of old trees. So you get some wood out of those, but you're not going to get any cement paste. So we're over the swamp area. As you can hear the frogs calling out. There are leeches down there. There are sarcos and capros, as you can see right there. Giant crocodile. Titan boas, the giant poisonous snakes. All sorts of nasty things down in the swamp. Alright. Let's see where we're at. Make sure we're going the right direction. Yep. Right there. I'm going to check my timer on my Anky, see how it's doing, how much time is left. We have 35 minutes left on our Anky. That'll give us time to get back, make a fabricator, and make some gasoline to run the fabricator. It does run on gasoline. And then we can start making our rifle and bullets. Go right over here and land because Agnes is starting to get a little low on her stamina. Actually, it looks like a better place to land right here behind these trees. A little bit higher. Harder to get to while we're resting. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. And we'll stop right here, take a little rest. Look around, see what we got going on. Wow, maximum level Packy, level 300. I just don't have a real use for those. Phiomia, those are good poop machines. When you're ready to start a garden and you need a lot of fertilizer, you can get a Phiomia, feed it the stem berries, and that'll just make it poop like crazy, and you'll have loads of poop that you can turn into fertilizer. There's a blue dodo. What level's that? 30 or 300? 30. Troodon. Nasty little things. What's Yukima picking up on? Let's see what she detected. Hey, we found an Ascendant and Mastercraft hatchet. Wow. Ascendant is the highest quality you can possibly get. So that hatchet is 289% damage. Way better than a normal hatchet. The one I've got right now is 221, so I'm going to use that one. It's going to harvest more stuff for us. Put my little Santiago hatchet skin on it so it looks cool. Alright, we got some rare flowers. Those rare flowers we can actually use to catch the tapaheras I was telling you about earlier. The tapaheras are very skittish and will fly away from you if you try and shoot them to tame them down. But the rare flowers enrages all dinosaurs in the area. It creates like a scent around you and enrages everything. Even parasaurs will attack you. So having eaten one of those rare flowers, the tapahera will come towards you and chase you, and then you can just shoot at it because it won't fly away. So that's what the rare flowers we can use for. We also can use them in other recipes and stuff. And I just ate it by mistake, but that's what happens. My own animals won't attack me, but any wild ones would. Even dodos will try and come after me. So as you see now, all these dodos are going crazy, trying to come after me to attack me because I ate those flowers. So this is a way to kind of wrangle up all the animals in the area. And now I can get all these dodos to kind of pull towards me. And then I could hunt them all down. I'm just going to fly away. I don't really want to kill them right now. I do want to keep them for later. I might tame some dodos later and use their eggs to start making kibble. But for now, I'm just going to kind of leave them be. I just want to check my food level on my Yankee, make sure everything's looking good. We're looking for 11,900. We're at 12,900 right now, so we're doing well. We're going to head back to base, and by coming down here I left render distance so when I get back the dodos won't want to kill me anymore. Alright. Down here. Put the cement paste in the workbench. We're going to put these in the fridge, in the preserving bin, so they last longer. Take this prime meat that we've been cooking, put it away. I'll preserve it a little longer. Just turn the fires off. Alright. Okay, so we should have everything we need to make our fabricator. Alright. So we've got our fabricator down here. Now we need to find a place to put it. I want to kind of put my fabrication stuff over here. So Darla, I need you to move. Let me grab the saddle off of Terry here and use it to bring Darla up here out of the way. You know what? All this meat on her, she might be too heavy. Increase her weight just a hair. Should be able to walk at least with that. Maybe. Yep. That brought her up to even. Let me take some of this meat. Put the prime on her. Can I move it all? Yeah. Put this in the trough out here. So we don't need seeds in the trough. Dump that. You know, it gives room for this meat. Don't need those 2 rocks. Don't need those seeds. Take Darla upstairs. Who else can? You know what? Backpack. You can hold it. Alright. Now we're going to stick the fabricator right over here. This thing is pretty big. Okay, looks good. Now we're going to make some gasoline because we need gasoline to power this. So to make gasoline, we're going to take some oil and some hide, and you put that in the forge, and your forge will, between the oil and hide, it'll automatically start creating gasoline out of that. Just like it takes the metal and turns it into ingots automatically. Alright, see our exact time on our Anky now. We have 25 minutes. And I'm going to take a short 2-minute break. It's 4:05. So we're going to take a quick break. I will be right back. Listen to some music while we keep an eye on what's going on here. Okay. And I'll be back in just a minute. All right, we are back. Let's check my levels. All right. So we've got about 20 minutes before we have to tame up our Anky. Another thing I'm going to make, since we're getting all this prime meat, is cooking pot. I'm going to use that to start making, you can make everything from medical brews, soups, food, kibble in this, and we can even make dyes. So we can paint our saddles, we can paint our clothing, we can paint the base, and even the animals. So we're going to make a cooking pot, and we just need flint, stone, thatch, and wood. I have no wood. We need to go get some wood real quick. Let's just run out here. I need to put this crossbow away because it's really heavy. I got 2 of them on me. Let me stick these on Agnes. That way when I'm harvesting, 2 sacks of wood doesn't weigh me down completely. And then I'm going to work on getting my weight up a little higher. My weight is currently at 280 and I usually have it about 400 by end game. It lets me do a lot more harvesting and stuff. Wow, that's still a lot. Alright, take this wood. I'm just going to stick it on you. Be right back. With the other bit. Along with that. Oh boy. So the other thing the cooking pot does is during holiday events like the summer bash that's going on for the next 2 weeks that started yesterday, we're going to be able to make the special event items in the cooking pot. So that's another good reason to have a cooking pot. I'm going to stick it over in that corner over there since I unload some of this wood. Alright. And let me just grab flint, stone, thatch, make a cooking pot. We just need one for now. And we'll put all this stuff back in the bench. And put that down here. Let's find a place to put it out of the way. Let's put it right here for now. Need to put some wood in that so we can cook some stuff up. Okay, so if you look, the holiday event items, all kinds of things we can do. For example, I can get some really cool sunglasses. For the sunglasses, I just need some 250 cooked meat. That's a lot of cooked meat. Let's see how much I've got. I've got 40, so I could take some of this meat, cook it up in these fires. We'll need more wood for all those. Go ahead and get them lit. Start cooking. Take that wood. These fires were getting low on wood anyway, so I'm going to split it up some. Careful you don't step in the fire because it will do damage to you. Get a little more on that. And you'll get really hot around all these fires too. Your heat will start going up, so you got to be careful of that as well. Don't stand right next to them and forget about it. You'll find you run out of water really fast and you end up dying of thirst. Oh, there was some wood. How much was down there? 178, that's enough. I think this one was still low. That's 152. 126. 28, that's the one that needs it. Throw it in there. We'll just let that cook. And we'll take that cooked meat and put in there. Put it in here, and then we can make some. We can get some stuff. Cooked prime meat. You can get the T-Rex inflatable costume for 150 prime meat. That's cool. It even squeaks when you run around in it. Okay, Yakima just saw something out here. Yep, it's that seagull. I hate those seagulls. They steal stuff from you. They harass your animals. We're going to get rid of it. You are not welcome here, bird. Be gone. Be careful when you're flying near the surface of the water. If you actually go into the water, you'll fall off of your mount. If it's a flyer, you'll get dismounted. And then you fall in the ocean, you got bigger problems. Especially if you're further away from land. Alright. Right now, when we look in the fabricator, there's no recipes for anything to make here because I haven't learned any engrams yet for anything to make in the fabricator. But we're going to change that very quickly. So the long neck, I make that in the smithy, and I'm going to go ahead and make one of those. So what do I need? I've got the hide. I need 80 ingots and 20 wood, and this is why I really need. This is why I really need the Anky, because he's going to start, or she's going to start helping us get all that metal that we need to make ammo, weapons, everything else. I just have to flip this around because this is not what I want to be listening to. Sorry about that. I'm supposed to be listening to Creative Commons. There we go. That's a little better. My apologies. All right. So we need lots and lots of metal, and that's what we're going to use that Anky for. Speaking of which, how much time? We got 12 minutes. I think, let's see, you know what? We're going to be gardening soon, and all these animals are pooping everywhere. So another thing I can make real quick to help start converting that poop into fertilizer that we can use for our garden is a compost bin until we get ourselves a dung beetle. So compost bin, 12 fiber, 15 thatch, 50 wood. I'm wondering if I should make this or if I should just go get a dung beetle. So 2 ways to make fertilizer for your crops when you get ready to start a garden. You can either take the poop from the animals, put it in a compost bin with thatch, and that makes fertilizer. Or you can get a dung beetle, and you put the poop in the dung beetle, and it turns the poop into fertilizer over time. Dung beetles are actually easy to tame up if you can find them. On this map, I think the only place to find a dung beetle is in the caves, which makes it a little more difficult. But I'm thinking there might be some up inside the volcano, so we could take a trip up there and see if we can't get a dung beetle up there. I'm going to go ahead and make the compost bin anyway, because we can get the poop started and it'll help preserve it. Otherwise, poop disappears after a certain amount of time, just like anything else. And it's cheap to make. So we'll go ahead and make one of these. I need fiber, thatch, and wood, I believe it was. Do I have wood? I'm out of wood again. Let's we'll get some wood. Put this here. Okay, between that tree and that bush, I should have everything I need to make a compost bin. Right there. Okay. Just want to eat these berries up. I don't need them. Don't necessarily want to just throw them away. I can always use the nourishment. My food's down a little bit. Now we're going to put the compost bin outside. We don't want to put the compost bin inside. There's constantly flies swirling around. Not something you want like right inside your base. So we'll come down here where we're going to put the greenhouse like right in here. So we'll put the compost bin over kind of away from. We'll put it like over here, I guess. Don't want it right up against the base. This would be a good spot for it. So there's the bin. Going to put thatch in there. And we can run upstairs, grab all the poop we can find from all the different animals. Just like that. On cue. Anybody else? I just heard somebody over here poo. Alright. Anybody upstairs? No? Nobody? Any volunteers? I didn't think so. Okay, we're going to need more than that, but to actually make a bag of fertilizer. But we'll keep stacking it in there as we walk around and pick it up. Well, you know what? Did I leave my monkey? I think my little monkey is over at that RG trap where I died earlier at the beginning of the stream. I think it fell off of me and it's inside that trap. We'll have to go take a look at it later, see if it's still there. I've been kind of missing my monkey. I don't have that monkey on my back. Let me see. How much time have we got? Should be just a few minutes left. 6 minutes left. So we're going to head down there. Prepare to feed our Anky. Look at these dolphins here. They died mid-leap. Just harvest them up. And we can use that for more meat. It's a lot of meat you get out of one of those. Cook some more of that up. Make more cooked meat. Use that to start making jerky. Need a good source of oil though. Got some prime meat there. Grab some of that. Reload all the raw meat, grab all the cooked meat. Take the spoiled meat out of there. All right. Let's see, what was I doing? Checking the meat. Let's go upstairs. I think we got a few minutes left. There's 5 minutes exactly now. That little dodo sound you heard was my timer going off. Let's get some water. Harvest some wood. Yeah, fell off. Come back here. Alright. We got 4 minutes left. So let me harvest some wood up while I'm at it. Oh, I didn't want you to follow me. Alright, you sit down here. That's fine. Stop following me. I'll bring it to you. Notice, here's the cool thing with an RG. This wood, this stack of wood weighs 125. If I put it on RG, oh, it's 125. But watch this here. 238. What's plus 125? Yeah, 363. Okay, so it doesn't reduce the weight of wood, but I believe it reduces the weight of stone and metal and stuff like that. So I think it gets a 75% reduction on that. Getting rid of stuff that I don't need on my RG. These things I'm going to put away for now. I don't need these berries. That's a trophy from an alpha raptor. We're going to keep that because we use those sorts of things to unlock the boss battles at endgame. So we start saving them up now. So just create a little footlocker or something for all your trophies. If you put your mouse over it, it'll tell you that it's a trophy. And just put that away somewhere. Save it for endgame. You'll need it eventually. And if you're working with a tribe of other players, have them, you know, just everybody work together to save them up. Because you'll go in as a group, so you can all use the same stuff. I don't need extra thatch. I'm just going to toss that. Great thing about an RG, they can lift huge amounts of weight. So 2646, that is just awesome. We're building up the wood as we're waiting for our Anky to tame up. And then we'll be able to start harvesting that metal and making ammo for our long rifle. And that's going to help us tranquilize animals faster, so there's less damage to them, less time it takes. We'll be able to tranquilize the bigger animals faster, which is important. Crossbows aren't going to do it for your bigger things. It just takes hundreds of arrows compared to dozens of bullets. Darts, I should say. And while I'm waiting for that, I'm just getting some extra supplies. You know, let me grab a stack of stone and just see if the weight reduction is working as expected. It's done. Okay, so if I come over here and put this on my bird. Alright, so my stone weighs 75 on me. If I put it on the bird, transfer it over, it's half that, 37.5. Right? If I put the metal over there, it weighs 2 on me. And on the bird, it weighs, where'd it go? It weighs 1. That's half the weight. So it's a 50% reduction. And then this is 0.7 for flint. And it's 0.7. So it's stone and metal that gets the weight reduction. Alright, the Anky should be good to go. Let's check its food level. It's at 11,900 is what we're looking for. So we're going to go ahead and take our berries, put on it. It's going to start eating up, and it will be tamed here shortly. Then we're going to take it up to the mountains and do a little harvesting. Meanwhile, while it's eating, I'm going to take Agnes up to the base, unload this wood, and come back and get the Anky. And before we end the stream today, we're going to go up and do a little harvesting of metal so you can see how effective an Anky is. Actually, you know what? I'm going to fly her in so she's next to the bench. Make it easier to unload this. Take all that flint. I don't need all that flint in there. I need that in the mortar pestles. Wait a minute, I can't put more in there. Don't need all that fiber in there either. I do need the wood in there. Alright. All this stuff I can put over here. The flint in here. The fiber I'm just going to stick in the cupboard so I can use it for stuff later. And take that trophy off of her. I don't need these other tools and weapons right now. And armor, I can put all that over here. Alright. That'll reduce some of her weight so we can carry more metal on the way back. Take some of this meat. Put in one of the bins over here. Put it on backpack. He can hold some for us. You know what? Just increase your weight. Now you can hold even more. Not going anywhere, are you? You can hold some. There's a trophy off a sauropod. Let's see. That metal, just throw that in the forge. And then Agnes, let's go back and, if I can get out of here, I'm going to go back and get our Anky. Close the door first. Don't want uninvited guests coming in. Okay, she is tamed up. Let's pick her up and head to the volcano. Of course, it's pouring the rain again, just like it is here today. It's a rainy day. Hope you guys are keeping dry. Let me know what you've been doing for fun over the summer when it's not raining every day here in the subtropics. Alright. Keep an eye on her stamina. So far from experimentation, Agnes the RG gets a 50% reduction on metal and stone. And I know that the Ankylosaurus gets a 75% reduction on metal. I don't think she gets a reduction on stone. So if we have the Anky mine up a bunch of metal and then pick her up with the RG, we should be able to lift a really heavy load and bring a lot of metal back. And we want to bring a little bit of crystal back too, because I want to be able to start making glass panes for our greenhouse. So we're going to need metal, and we're going to need crystal. And we're also going to need cementing paste. You need cementing paste to hold those two things together. So we're going to have to go find some more beaver dams other than just that one we raided. We're going to start killing a lot of scorpions. Check my map, make sure we're going the right direction since it's so hard to see right now. Even with the rain, it's 100 degrees and I'm getting hyperthermia, heat stroke. Okay, so here's some metal nodes. So we're going to check this area. There's two right there, and there's some obsidian right there, that black rock. Let me just see what else is here. I think it's pretty safe looking. There's some Trudons there. I'm going to drop you here, and I'm going to come back. I'm going to get rid of this raptor. I'm going to get rid of that. I don't know what that is. I'm not going to let it live, though. Oviraptor. Okay, it wasn't dangerous, but I wasn't going to sit around and get killed by it either. Alright, so I'm going to... Ha ha ha! I forgot something. I forgot the saddle. Okay, let's do this. Hop on here. Don't like this. Go take care of this raptor down here so it doesn't run up on us while we're looking things up. Go back up to our Anky. Don't leave it too long. Ankies are pretty good. They can take care of themselves. But I don't want to leave it too long. Okay. I need to check my engrams and look for the Anky saddle. Because that is what we forgot to make. Okay, I have to make this at a smithy. Back at the base. However, we have an advantage. An RG saddle doubles as a smithy, so I can make it right here in the RG. However, I need 10 metal ingot to make it. I don't have that, so we got to go back to base anyway. Alright, so up we go. Let's head back. So, sorry about that. The best laid plans. Well, this will give us a chance to sightsee, scope out some potential tames, and look for some more beaver nests. I thought there was some over here, too. Like over by these black sands. I thought there were beaver sands here, or over by that green drop. I think there might be some beavers in that area. Wow, there's a bright red Triceratops. Red and blue, wow. It's only level 50, though. I'm not going to bother with that. Just not worth it. Okay, there's sometimes beaver nests right in here. What's that blue? Is that a Phionia? Yeah. See any beavers? I don't see any here. Oh, wait, there. There's a couple over there. Yeah, so there's two. You know what? Let's set you down up here where it's safer. I hear some compies here. Like I said, my Anky can take care of itself. There's some compies on the ground here. Kill that little evil monster. Okay, and we're going to get this beaver dam right here. Trudon. Wow, those pops and clicks from ARK. Really freaking loud. Is that a dope? What is it? Oh, it's a palm tree. Okay, my Anky's doing good up there. Just checking on her. Come back down here. Okay, doing her right there. Let's come over here. Okay, I'm going to grab and go. I'm just kind of looking around for any really close beavers. Grab, grab, grab. Throw, throw, throw. Get on my bird and go, go, go. That gives us a little more cement paste. There's some more dams here. Let me just check. Stop right here. Yeah, see, here come the beavers now. What level are these guys? These guys are really good at wood harvesters, so we could tame one of them potentially, too. What level are they? Level 30. Where's the other one? Level 50. Nah, neither one's worth it. Alright. Let's get our Anky and head back to the house and get a saddle made for it. Every time I see a beaver dam, I'm going to try and raid it to get as much cement paste as I can. If I see bugs, I'm going to stop and kill them. The flying ants, the scorpions, spiders, they all give chitin. Things like Triceratops and Carnotauruses things with horns are going to give you keratin. Both of those things allow you to make cement paste. Also, turtle shells, they're going to give you keratin or chitin. What we got down there? What's that bright red thing? Another red triceratops. Level 10, of course. I've got a theory about all these colored dinos, though, unfortunately. My theory is the prettier they are, the lower the level they are. So the really pretty ones are like level 10, and you'd never want to bother taming one. It's just not worth your time. That one's level 20, that green one behind the tree. Is that a red dilo? It's kind of, oh, that's a packy. That's cool looking too. Looking to see if there were any metal nodes over here anywhere. I just don't see any here. It's mostly stone. I mean, you'll get a little bit of metal out of all these rocks, but not like you would out of a metal node or a rich metal node. I'm just going to park her up on the roof for now. And we'll go down and make ourselves a quick saddle. Need hide, metal, and I believe it was wood. Grab the metal out of here. 182 scrap, that's good. Put the cement paste in here. I'm going to put these mushrooms over here in the preserving bin. Where did I put the other ones? Do I have any in here? I don't need all those berries. Get those by the boatload. Okay, I've got 15 gasoline made between the oil and the hide that I put in there. But I'm going to need more oil to make any more, so I'm just going to put this fire out. And then we can use that gasoline to power the fabricator later. We've got all this cement paste we're saving up. Got a little bit of crystal. So I need some wood, some hide, and 10 metal, and that's going to make me an Anky saddle. Go to saddles, and that's Stylocolio. This is the Anky. All right. And put all the excess stuff back in there. We got the saddle. Go up and stick that on so we can actually get on the Anky and harvest, because it won't do it itself. All right. There we go. That's better. Try again. There we go. Up, up, and away. Just trying to think if there was any metal in this area. I just don't remember seeing any nodes. Most of them are around the volcano and the other mountains. And the volcano is one of the closest mountains to us at this point. Checking left and right for any metal. Great thing is Agnes's stamina is up high enough that we can basically do one leg journey from our base over to the mountain without stopping now, which is huge. Really allows us to travel more efficiently across the map and stay out of danger, so we don't have to stop as often. Alright, we should start seeing some metal nodes here. Let's take a quick look around. Going a little further to the east. Just past these trees here, there should be some on the ground. There we go. Okay, so over here, I'll show you guys a couple things. We got all these rocks. The two darker ones with the streaks, those are metal nodes. And they're going to have more metal in them than rocks do. Lots more. And then up here, this rock that looks almost all gold, that's a rich metal node, and it's going to have even more metal. So I'm going to show you this real quick. Drop her off. Agnes, I want you to land. Just keep an eye out. Now I'm going to do one hit on this rock to show you what I get with my pick. I get 15 metal. Now I'm going to do one hit with Anky here. I get 238 metal. That is the difference, and that's why you want an Anky. This Anky is going to get us so much metal. So come up here. Now I want to get rid of any stone. I'm not harvesting stone. I can get that later. I just want the metal. And I'm going to increase my Anky's weight as much as possible because I want her... I'm also going to work on melee. Melee is going to harvest more metal the higher the melee is. But I also want a higher weight so she can carry more metal. Okay? Let's see. Is there any more metal in the nearby vicinity? You know what? Agnes, you just follow. And we're going to go down the hill. Hit these other two metal veins down here. And then we'll head back to base, and that'll be it for today's stream. I'll start cooking this metal up, and tomorrow we'll work on increasing our technological levels. I think there was some metal right down here. I just hit that rock just to get it out of our way. Quick look around, checking for raptors or any other aggressors that might sneak up on us. There's saber-tooths in this area you got to look out for. Again, this Anky can probably take care of itself, and Agnes will help us if necessary. Seeing that parasaur up there is a good sign because it wouldn't just be sitting there calmly if there was a predator in the area. Let's see, the weight on my Anky right now is about halfway. I could probably hit one more rock. I'll dump the stone and we'll be good to go. Right there is an ant. I'm going to get chitin or keratin off of those. A little bit. Should have used my axe. I would have gotten more chitin. There's another one. Let's check. With my axe, how much do I get? I got 3 with my pick, 7 with my axe. So twice the amount with the axe. Use the axe to harvest chitin. There's another one. Getting every little bit of chitin I can. We're going to harvest this metal up. Dump any stone. Also do not need flint right now. We can get that later. We just want the metal. I'm going to increase her melee by 4 points. Do we see any more metal in the vicinity. I don't see any more right here. So Dilophosaur down there. I'm not too worried about that. That's an Oviraptor. Nothing super dangerous yet. Oh, there's an ant. Just oh. Okay, I don't see any more, so we're just going to head out now. Come on down here, Agnes. Come to me. There we go. Good girl. And let's pick our Anky up and head home. And if you look at Agnes's weight in the top right corner of the screen, all that metal on our Anky, and the Anky's weight included, and my weight included, is nothing to Agnes. That little blue bar on the bottom, the weight, shows that she's carrying very little weight against what she's capable of. So that's why we wanted the RG as soon as possible. So starting off on the island, first thing you want to do, get your little base set up, start harvesting things, get yourself to where you can get some hide, so kill some dodos or lyceros, some easy things that aren't going to kill you in return. Make some bolas, make either a club, or better yet, just go straight to a crossbow, which you'll need a forge and a smithy for, so work on building those up. Then make your crossbow, make your tranq darts, get your pteranodon, then get your RG. From the RG, you can get your Anky. Tomorrow we'll get a Doedicurus, and the Doedicurus will harvest huge amounts of stone for us, where this harvests the metal and flint out of the rock. And that's going to allow us to progress much further technologically. With the fabricator, we're now going to be able to make a generator. We're going to be able to make an industrial grill, industrial cooker. And we're really going to begin accelerating on our technology here. So we've gone from the Stone Age into the Iron Age at this point is where we're moving. And it looks like I've even leveled up. Actually, take this downstairs, right in next to the workbench. Move Norbert over here out of the way. Agnes, let's put you up on the roof where you belong. We're going to basically take this second floor. I'm going to work on this off camera some tonight and create a roost up here, an indoor roosting area to park all of our flyers up here. Okay, I'm just going to put her here. Disable following, so you stay there. Go get our Anky. And I need a name for the Anky, so if you guys can come up with a name for our Ankylosaurus. It's a female. Come up with a good name for her, put it in the chat, and we'll have a name for her. I'm going to pull her right over here by the forge, unload the metal right into the forge off of her. We've got over 1,000 metal, more than I can even hold on to. And we're going to throw a bunch of extra wood in that so it can cook overnight, and it'll all be cooked up tomorrow, and we'll be able to really start turning out some bullets and stuff. and other stuff we need to make out of metal. Oops, I didn't want all that. I had my finger on the button accidentally. Too far away. Let's do that. Just walk up. F. Put in there. Light that fire. Okay, we're going to start cooking that metal. I could even build a second forge and cook it twice as fast, but I'm not in a rush tonight. Well, that's it, folks. I will see you all tomorrow. You guys have a great day. And actually, I won't see you tomorrow. This is Thursday, so I will be streaming again on Monday. So 2:30 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time is when I'm streaming live. But you can always watch these streams back pre-recorded on my channel. Aaron Mitchell is my channel that you can search up. If you just found one of these randomly, you can also click the link below. Leave a comment. Be sure to click like and subscribe and hit that bell so that you're reminded Monday when my stream starts again. We'll see you guys all next week. Have a good one. Stay safe. Have fun. We'll see you all later.